Hey chaps, and welcome back to another episode. You might have noticed a bit of a gap between this one and the last one. That's because it's been spectacularly hot here in Adelaide for the last week. It certainly makes things a bit more difficult than you'd like. So I do have a video in the works on the XC, but what I decided to do was do a week's worth of work and put it into one video, or more than 5. I wanted to not have hundreds of little videos. I decided to put a lot of it together into one. I thought that seems to be a bit better. EJ videos are progressing along quite nicely, very happy with it. And what I'm actually going to do today is just a fleet update really, and talk about the cars and what we're doing with them, and a few things that I have gathered. But yes, it's been hot, so a bit of an apology for the gap between the videos, but it's been the better part of 40 degrees for the whole week, so yeah, really takes its toll on you. But I'll show you what I've been up to. You wouldn't believe it, this is literally my 3rd attempt to start filming this. It's unreal sometimes when you get interrupted. Hashtag YouTuber life. But anyway, the plans have changed with the EJ slightly. You might notice it's actually in a few more pieces. I'm actually in the process of ripping out the front cross member because that's wrong and had to come out anyway because it's an EH1 and has no allocations for the grey motor to fit in there. Plus it's in 100 pieces and it's not complete, so drop it out, put it at the side, strip off what I need, send it to scrap, or give it to somebody who needs one. The steering column's got to come out because that's in 100 pieces and been pulled apart and all the gear select stuff's missing out of it, and I'll put my original one back in. The Y-frames are going to come off and go in the bin because they're just toasted. I've got to replace the 2 inner frame brackets that go on the firewall, and then that's it. The firewall and front floor pans are all perfect, so I'm going to do that area. I'm going to paint the firewall, clean up my new Y-frames, put them on, clean up my front cross member, put that in, get another grey motor. I've got one lined up, and piece the whole shoot and match together mechanically in the front, which I think will be really nice. Over the weekend I was watching some Red Dwarf and sitting in home, and I was soldering up together the rear tail light loom, which was all in about 1 million pieces, and it was quite good. So sat down there, soldering iron, some new globe holders, and did all that, and that came up pretty good. So I'm just going to piece it together, but also sort of do it at the same time. I just want to get it done. I want to enjoy it. I don't think it needs to be fully rotisseried, not for me anyway. I just want to get it done. So that's that. That's progressing along nicely. It's been slowed down by the insane heat. You have no idea how hot it is. And then this car, I actually did some on it the other night, because I bought myself this wonderful thing. I wonder if I can turn the lights on in the shed without the fuse box going off. No, I'll get there eventually. Hey! So this is known as a PDR kit, paintless dent removal. You wouldn't believe it, but this was the better part of $500. This comes with glue, pot glue gun, little tabs that you glue onto cars, release agent, different types of attachments. That thing is awesome. Little slide hammer, little thing to help get your things off. I actually broke a couple of those, which is a little bit unfortunate, and then different types of things to hammer down sharp dents from the inside. I haven't quite worked out how this guy works, but I'm sure I'll figure it out over time. But what I did with the ute is I started PDRing it. I'm not a magician, I can't do it, but I can get it to the point where I won't need a pin pulling machine, and only a light skimmer bog would be needed. So what I did was, if I go over here on this ute, there was a big dent right here, and there was 2 line dents right here. And actually, really hard to see, but I got these ones, I got this one nearly completely out. And I mean, if you have enough time and skill up your hands with that kit, you can do dents without actually needing to do paintwork. There are people who can do it, but I figured if I can get it to the point where a minor skim of dolphin glaze is needed just to finish it off, I think that's good. I don't think it can pull this This is a dent left over from it having a big canopy, and I did manage to get, it's really hard to see, but there was a huge crease that ran through here, and sort of like one of these creases, but way worse. You can see all the creases in the roof. But there was one that went through here, and I actually managed to get the majority of it out. So glue on this side, pull up and tap on this side, and you get the dents out. There was a big hollow right here and the edge of the crease right here, so I did actually succeed in getting, and that was very soft before. It's not anymore. So all I gotta do is continue along there, and then all I should do need to do is sand it and then just light skim the roof with some fine fill, and we'll be laughing. This is the next car on the chopping block. The Commodore I did actually paint, but the colour was off, believe it or not. I took the fuel flap, took the paint code, everything to the paint shop, and asked them to get the right colour and match it, and I don't know if there was some miscommunication between at the counter and the paint, but I got paint that ended up being too dark. So I ended up having to, I have to redo that, and I'll redo that on Saturday or Sunday when the temperature isn't 1,000,000 degrees. So that's where we're up to with that car, the Commodore. The Falcon is progressing along quite nicely. Pretty much all I gotta do is fix the dents and repaint probably the cab and the left rear quarter panel, and tackle some of the dents in the tailgate, and that split down the front bar, and then this ute is done and ready for rego. So we're all progressing on quite nicely. I've got ants all over me right now. We're going for a free ride. But yes, the EJ stuff seemed to attract quite a bit of attention. So yeah, if you look here, you can see toasted, and another hole. That whole bottom of that leg is missing. Drum's missing. There's no shock absorbers in it, so this cross member is going to come out and go to scrap probably, or if you have any H and you're in Adelaide, sing out. One of the big differences is EJs have two holes here for a grey motor to sit, and they don't have the red motor mounts. So this is a factory one actually. This is a factory EH one. You do need this outrigger if you're going to put a HR disc brake front end in one of these old Holdens, because they have a different stabilizer at the front, so some bits are a bit useful. As you can see, this steering box is missing all the linkages out of it. So what I was doing was finding all the bolts, nuts and screws. So you might notice the accelerator linkage in, the wiring's in. I had to rejoin this car's loom, was cut here. Somebody had taken the two plugs off there, but I had another one, so resoldered them back in. Found all the screws to hold the voltage regulator in. Yeah, so I was just finding stuff. There isn't much to these cars at all, really. And I mean, it sounds silly, but I had to find the wiper linkages, wiper arm chrome mouldings, piles apart. So I've got to cut the tunnel out of the other one, because somebody's hacked a floor shifter into this car, and that's about it. That's not hard to do. There's no rust in that floor pan, but the brace that runs sort of under that rib is rusted out in accordance to the wireframes. So I'll do all that, and then I can actually probably paint the floor with anti-rust paint from like here forward and up the firewall, and it'll be all done, which will make me very happy. So, and you can see I started putting some of the, just finding all the pieces and all the bits and bobs for the dashboard. I need to get one of these radio blanks too. I haven't got one of those. Used to have heaps of them, but not anymore. And I got my pedal box in from the other car. It's all reconditioned, looking lovely. Ended up having like 3 or 4 glove box lids, and I reckon I've got 4 sets of those stainless on the dash. It's quite incredible. I didn't realise I collected that many. Update the Landau. That's not really done much, because you know, it's not a huge priority, but we're sending the door trims off to be retrimmed at Spencer's. The seats have been done for this car actually, they look amazing. I'm still waiting for someone to find me some seat rails for the front seat. Apparently they're unobtainable. And yeah, this is that blue lightning, or lightning blue, I think it's lightning blue maybe, from the Ford Raptors. But I don't know how interesting this video update is going to be, but at least it's something, and I will be putting out more videos shortly, but it's just been astronomically hot. And yeah, if you're talented enough and you've got enough time at your sleeve, one of these I do recommend, but good golly are they expensive. Do I think it was worth the $500? Hell no. Not in the slightest. I know everything's made in America and all that stuff because it's a name brand one, but still, I don't think it's worth the money. And in this little spray bottle, which is a release agent, it's just acetone. You spray it on, the hot glue just falls off, and you get these little different shaped little doodads that you can put glue on and fit into different shaped dents and stuff. So that's what I've been up to. Hope you enjoy this little update. It's not going to be super exciting. Oh, one thing, I've got to find the chap who told me about this EJ, because I've got something for him. If he's watching right now, he can have this. This is the spare grille that came with that car. It's got a really good piece of stainless across the top. Well, not too bad. And it's got a piece that I know he'll need that's on the corner here. But that's free to him. All he's got to do is come get it. So yeah, that's where we're up to. I cleaned up my taillights, put them in, sat the rear bar in. That's my good boot lid. So it's all progressing. I'm quite happy with it actually. I mean, this door is absolute garbage, but fills a hole. This door is pretty good actually, and that door is actually not too bad either. But yes, enough rambling, enough chit chat. That's the update. That's what's been going on, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.